Hey guys, it's me, Nerdy Gamer, and today I want to do a video which was actually recommended to me by a friend of mine on Facebook, so I'd like to thank you, Chris Wilson, for giving me this idea. Today I'm going to count down 5 characters who I think will die in the Avengers 3 and 4. And now, I'm not just talking about the new Infinity War film coming out, I'm also talking about the second part, which is due out May next year. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to say Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, even though the second one doesn't have an official title yet. Now, there's obviously a lot of characters to go through, but I picked 5 who I see most likely to die. I haven't picked the characters who have been greenlit for a sequel, so you won't see Doctor Strange on here, there'll be no Spider-Man, and there will be no Guardian. Well, there will be, might be a few Guardians, but that's it, because the others have been credited for a sequel. But I won't pick any actors who've also just said that they've got more films under their contracts. And with that, let's get into it. I hope you enjoyed, and if you do, click the subscribe button down below and also like the video. Thank you, and let's get into it. Number 5, we'll start with the main one, the Vision. The Vision is an android basically created by Tony Stark to battle Ultron. It was also technically first created by Ultron to defeat the Avengers. Now, Vision will die, most likely will die, because he has the Mind Stone into his forehead, which was put there by Ultron. Now, Thanos does need the Mind Stone to complete his collection of Infinity Gems. And we've seen in trailers of a Black Order member looking like he's taken the stone from Vision, and it also is known now that the Battle of Wakanda is to protect Vision from Thanos. So chances are Vision will die. It seems very likely that he will die. I don't see any other reason on why he couldn't. But let's see what happens. I think he'll die at the end, halfway through the first part 1, and that's how it'll all come about. At number 4, we've got Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a character who first appeared in 4, but truth be told has not really been a memorable character. In the first Avengers, he was under mind control for most of the film, and he just seems to be a bit dull. But to my opinion, he's a bit dull and boring sometimes. Marvel know exactly what to do with him. I mean, he's not getting his own film. There was talks about him getting his own Netflix show, but that seems to have just faded away. I would like to have seen Hawkeye because he is a really cool character in the comics, but with his witty comebacks. But in the films, they don't seem to have used that personality of him. He seems a very dull character to me, and I think he most likely will die, because in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, he was one of the people who actually did vanish when Thanos clicked his fingers to balance the universe and make half of humanity disappeared. So I can see Hawkeye disappearing, but I see it done by Thanos clicking his fingers, having all the Infinity Gems and clicking his fingers. So I think it would happen at the end of the part 1 and leave it for part 2. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's see how it turns out. Loki, the god of mischief, and his Thor's adopted brother. He is considered the best villain in the MCU to date, and has appeared in numerous films. Now, this character is very torn. He's very mostly on the side of evil, but sometimes will do heroic acts. In For the Dark World, he sacrificed himself, even though he faked his death. He saved Asgard in Thor Ragnarok to help people. But he also, in the original Thor, he tried to destroy his home world, and he used the army of the Chitauri, that's the name, to take over Earth, which was in the first Avengers film, but he was defeated. Now, in Thor Ragnarok, he took the Tesseract, which is the Spear Stone, and in the trailer for Infinity War, it looks like he will hand it to Thanos. Now, why do I think this character will die is, I think Thanos will kill him himself. Even though he gives Thanos the Tesseract, the Spear Stone, I think Thanos will also kill him because he gave him an army to rule the world. He failed. He lost his scepter, which had the Mind Stone in, and now that's part of the Vision. Now, what I think he'll get the Tesseract and then kill him for basically failing what he originally set him out to do. Now, Loki has had many run-ins, and is well liked by many of the fans of the franchise, but unfortunately I see this character's time is up. Number 2, we have the first Avenger, Captain America, Steve Rogers. He was created in the World War II to help the Americans defeat the Nazis, and appeared in 2012, Avengers teaming up with him for the first time, and as a man out of time. Now, obviously, it has been confirmed that Chris Evans, who plays him, has stated that Avengers 4 is his final film in the MCU. And in the comics, when Steve Rogers died, his good friend Bucky Barnes, played by Sebastian Stan in the films, took over. And it has been hinted at in various films that Bucky will take over from Captain America when the time comes. And also, the guy who plays him, Sebastian Stan, has been contracted for more films after this. So it looks like this is the route they're going to take. And in the Infinity War trailer, it is shown that Thanos fights Captain America, but I don't think he'll die from that, because it seems very weird to show a scene where a character is going to die in the trailer. I think he'll die just later on, like in a fight, proper fighted, and I don't know how he'll die, but I can see him dying in part 2 with them being his final film. And now we'll lead to number 1. Number 1 is obviously the sad one, Iron Man, aka Tony Stark. This character looks like it's going to end for him in this 4th film. And why do I say that, you say? Well, he's been with the MCU since the beginning. His solo film in 2008 kicked it off, and has been an integral part to the entire movies. He appeared in Spider-Man Homecoming as a mentor sort of style to Peter Parker, and Robert Downey Jr. has played him brilliantly over the last 10 years. The reason why I think he'll go is because it hasn't been confirmed if Robert Downey Jr. is leaving. It's just that after the 4th Avengers film, which will be part 2, it will be a new team of Avengers, and I can see Iron Man kicking the bucket. Or maybe he kicking his bucket, but maybe he won't die. Maybe he'll just leave and wants to properly retire, because it has been hinted at for years that he wants to retire. Iron Man 3 blew up all of his suits. In Age of Ultron, he was considered leaving at the end, but I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe that's what he'll do, or maybe he will die by Thanos' hand, because in the trailer it is showing him fighting Thanos, but only time will tell. Okay guys, that's my top 5 picks for who I think will die in the Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 films, and I hope you enjoyed. You might agree with me, maybe you disagree. Name any characters that I've forgotten to mention. Also, subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up and share it with people who you know might be interested. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.